This year, Whiteland High School introduced a drama club. To learn more about it, we interviewed the drama director, Tara Sorg, and one of the members, Elyssa Merrill.
When I got here, I was originally just an English teacher, but they mentioned there had been a theater program that had kind of fallen by the wayside, and my background was in theater, so Mr. Betts offered it to me, and I love theater. It's what my degree's in, so why not?
I love Miss Sorg. She is an absolute sweetheart and put so much time and effort into making our show what it was. The members, I love them to death. There's obviously just some things like time conflicts that made them not be able to show up to practice, us having to replace people. It was a lot of work, and all around the cast that we ended with is a cast that I grew to love.
My favorite part of working with students is finding a kid who goes from nothing to all in over the course of one show. Like with 12 Angry Jurors, Eli Parr had never done a play before. He had taken one theater class, and I kind of bullied him into doing the show, honestly. He's in my English 11 class, and I was just like, Eli, you gonna do my play? He's like, I don't know, maybe, once auditions. And he went from never having done a play to being one of the strongest actors in the show, just because he got there, realized what this was all about, and he just kind of fell in love with it. And that's so satisfying as a director, because I get to kind of watch kids do what I did, which was come in off the street, not know anything, and then just fall in love.
Mrs. Sorg filled us in on the differences of a community theater and a student theater.
There's pros and cons to both. Obviously, community theater is going to be people with a little bit more experience, but I think a high school program is more supported by the community. You have, every kid has parents and grandparents and cousins who want to come see the show. You have the school that you can promote to, whereas with community theater, you don't have that built-in audience, and you really have to build up an audience in a little more difficult way. Plus, in a community theater, you have actors of all ages, which can be really great, but if you have a show that's meant for high schoolers, you're not going to get a lot of high schoolers in a community theater. So some shows, depends on the show, great for high school. Some shows, you want a community theater.
Each person starts in their own different experiences.
I started doing theater when I was a freshman in high school, and immediately just the community, the sense of kind of family in the cast that I was in that first show. I did West Side Story as a freshman. It made me want to do it again, because I hadn't had that feeling before of just like a real tight-knit group of misfits.
To be honest, nothing really got me into drama. I'd always kind of wanted to do a play in middle school, but I never had the time or a ride because my parents worked. And so having an opportunity this year while I drove just kind of made me want to try out for fun.
While there are plans, there will always be difficulties.
Well, next semester we're planning on doing a musical, hopefully Charlie Brown, spoilers, but that's the goal for next year, is just getting the musical under our belt, and then in the future, at least a play and a musical every year, maybe some dinners or breakfasts with superheroes and princesses, little fun events that little kids, elementary school kids can attend, and just have some fun and do some theater. So with this most recent play that I just did, something that I had known in the classroom but not really realized until I was working on this play is that because of COVID, emotional development-wise, all the kids are a year and a half behind. Everybody missed out on a year and a half of socializing in person in school, and so the freshmen are essentially 7th graders. And I don't teach middle school for a reason. I much prefer high school, so it was definitely a curveball to realize, okay, I've got a lot of energy, which is great, but not a lot of focus, and definitely not a lot of boundaries. So we're gonna have to teach a lot more boundaries than normal.
Enjoying yourself and making fun experiences is key in drama.
I really like our communication. We were never really scared to talk to each other or be open about what we're doing. And even now, after the play has ended, we're meeting up, and then we're also going to hang out soon for a member's birthday party. So just our ability to get together and have fun is something that I think I really value.
I think when it all clicks, and that's not necessarily at the performance, but it can be in a rehearsal, it can be in a costume fitting. It's just when the pieces start to line up and when what's in my head starts taking shape in front of me. I had that with 12 Angry Jurors, sitting in the audience one night of rehearsal. I think it was the Wednesday before we opened, so 2 days before, and they were running their scene for Act 1, and I just sat there and I looked at the set that was mostly done, and I was like, that's what was in my head. It's there now. I did it. I put it on stage. I did it. So that's the most exciting part for me.